Last month alone, I made over $1,200 selling AI-generated art on Fiverr. That number might not sound life-changing to some people, but to me, it meant extra freedom. It meant paying for my bills without stress, treating myself, and even saving a little for the future. The crazy part is that I do not consider myself an artist at all. I cannot draw realistic portraits, I never studied design, and I definitely cannot paint. All I use is ChatGPT and a few AI art tools. That is how I built this Fiverr side hustle that continues to bring me consistent income every single month. If you are curious about how this is possible and how you can do it too, stay with me because I'm going to break it all down for you. Now, before you think this is some overnight success story, let me clear something up. When I first started, I had no idea how to stand out on Fiverr. In fact, my very first gigs got 0 clicks. I uploaded images, wrote short descriptions, and thought the orders would just roll in. They didn't. Here's the interesting part though. Once I learned how to position myself, once I learned how to use ChatGPT not just to create the art, but also to write high-converting gig descriptions and engaging client messages, everything changed. And that is where most people miss the opportunity. They think making money with AI art is only about generating a pretty picture. But the truth is success comes from how you package, present, and deliver the art. And in this video, I will show you the exact steps I used, the mistakes I made, and how you can skip the trial and error. So let me tell you my story. About a year ago, I was browsing Fiverr to see what services people were selling. I saw artists charging anywhere from $20 to $200 for digital illustrations. I remember thinking to myself, there's no way I can do this. I mean, I can barely draw a stick figure. But then I stumbled onto AI art, tools that allow you to type in prompts and instantly generate stunning illustrations. At first, I thought this was too easy. If anyone can type, then what is stopping everyone from becoming a Fiverr seller? I quickly realized, though, that most people who try this fail. Why? Because they treat it like a quick cash grab instead of a real business. My first attempt was embarrassing. I created a gig called AI Portraits and uploaded a few random images. I wrote a one-line description and hit publish. Guess what? No one clicked. For weeks, my gig just sat there with 0 traction. I almost gave up, but then I decided to do something different. I used ChatGPT not just to generate art, but also to write compelling gig titles, descriptions, and FAQs. I studied top-performing sellers and realized it was not the art alone that sold, it was how they presented themselves. So I relaunched my gig. I gave it a strong niche angle, improved my images, and polished my presentation. And that is when things began to change. Within 2 weeks of relaunching, I got my very first order. It was a $15 gig for a custom fantasy character portrait. I delivered it within 24 hours, and the client absolutely loved it. Not only did they give me a 5-star review, but they also shared the artwork on their social media. That one review opened the door to more clients. Suddenly, Fiverr's algorithm started showing my gig to more buyers. Over the next few months, I went from barely getting any views to consistently landing orders. Some clients ordered small pieces for $10 to $20, while others went for bigger projects worth $50 or $100. Eventually, I found myself earning between $800 and $1,200 a month just by creating AI-powered art with ChatGPT's help. And the best part? It did not require expensive equipment, years of practice, or endless hours of work. I could manage it all from my laptop. The first secret to making money with AI art on Fiverr is choosing a niche. Do not just say, I will make AI art. That is way too broad, and it makes you blend in with hundreds of other sellers. Instead, you need to specialize. For example, I decided to focus on fantasy portraits. Gamers, authors, and Dungeons & Dragons players love having custom fantasy characters, and they're willing to pay for it. You can use ChatGPT to brainstorm niche ideas. Ask it questions like, what are profitable digital art niches on Fiverr? Or, what unique styles could I offer that stand out from general AI art? The more specific your gig is, the better chance you have of attracting buyers who are looking for something tailored. Your gig title and description are the most important part of your Fiverr profile. Think of them as your shop window. If the text is dull, no one will stop and click. Most sellers write titles like, "I will create AI art." That is boring. Instead, I asked ChatGPT to generate several creative variations. One of my winning titles was, "I will create stunning fantasy character portraits for your story, game, or project." Notice how specific and attractive that sounds. For the description, I used ChatGPT to highlight benefits rather than just features. Instead of saying, "I will generate an image for you," my description says, "You will receive a high-quality fantasy portrait that brings your imagination to life, complete with variations and a quick turnaround." That immediately sounds more professional and more valuable. When you are new, you will not have client work to show. That's okay. What I did was create my own portfolio using AI-generated samples. I treated my Fiverr profile like a mini art gallery. Every image I uploaded looked like it was part of a cohesive collection. If you're worried about variety, use ChatGPT to help you write detailed prompts for different art styles. Generate samples that showcase your flexibility: realistic portraits, stylized characters, minimalist covers. This not only fills your gallery, but also builds trust with potential buyers. This is where I really separated myself from other sellers. Most Fiverr AI artists deliver a single image and stop there. I decided to go further. Every time I delivered art, I included multiple variations plus a written creative description generated with ChatGPT. For example, if someone ordered a fantasy character, I would provide 2 or 3 different image options, and along with it, I'd send short backstory. Things like the character's name, personality traits, and a bit of lore. Clients love this because it made the artwork feel alive and personal. That extra effort often led to tips and repeat orders. Fiverr is not just about art. It is about how you treat your clients. Many sellers ignore this part, but communication is what brings people back. I used ChatGPT to help me write professional and friendly responses. Simple messages like, "Thank you for your order. Could you let me know if you prefer a realistic or stylized look?" go a long way. Good communication builds confidence. When buyers feel like they are heard and cared for, they are more likely to leave a 5-star review, recommend you to others, and even return for more projects. Repeat orders. Once I had consistent orders, I started offering extras. I added options like faster delivery, commercial rights, or additional characters. Suddenly, a $15 order could turn into a $60 order with just a couple of clicks. I also created multiple gigs in related niches. For example, besides fantasy portraits, I launched gigs for book covers and YouTube thumbnails. This way, I was not relying on just one stream of income, but building a small Fiverr ecosystem that kept growing. Looking back, I realized that making money with AI art is not really about the tool itself. Anyone can use an AI generator. The real value comes from how you package your work, how you present it, and how you deliver an experience. ChatGPT helped me with every part of this process, from writing prompts, to designing my gigs, to communicating with clients. And that combination is what turned a hobby into a steady side income. So here's my advice to you. If you have ever thought about starting a side hustle, but felt like you did not have the skills, this could be your opportunity. You do not need to be an artist, you do not need fancy software, and you do not need years of experience. You just need creativity, consistency, and the willingness to learn. If you want to make a follow-up video where I show you my exact Fiverr gig setup titles, descriptions, tags, and even some of the ChatGPT prompts I use, drop a comment below and let me know. And if this video gave you some inspiration, hit the like button because it helps this video reach more people who are looking for ideas just like this. Make sure to subscribe so you do not miss my next video where I will share the behind the scenes of how I manage orders and deliver projects step by step. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the simplest skills, packaged in the right way, can completely change your income and your life.